Greetings, beautiful people. They got froze. Wow. Okay. So, listen. I've been working on some stuff. Put that there. So, I've been working on some stuff, people, and I have really been trying my hardest to get on both platforms, which I got a solution for that. So I'll be double streaming. So y'all will be able to watch this too. So I'm gonna just get my schedule together on the timing. But to bring y'all up to par with what has been going on. Hopefully you've been watching the TikTok replays. Um, I have some that I have to still post up here. But we have been learning about George Washington, Lincoln. We have been learning some serious history. Okay, so let me show you some of the things that we've been learning. Okay. So, okay. We've been learning about Abraham Lincoln. And we've been learning that Abraham Lincoln is a melanated man. Um, we also have been learning that he is a Moor. We've been learning that he is also a samurai. We also have been learning that he is an ancestor. He's not just a president. He is an actual ancestor of ours. And this changes everything when you start knowing the truth. Okay, so just to give you a little literature behind this picture here, it says here that Lincoln was said to be the illegitimate son of the Negro by Nancy Hanks. In his campaign for presidency, he was also referred to as a Negro by his opponents. He was even depicted as a Negro. He was called Abraham Africanus the first. So Abraham was also Africanus. So I watched Hidden Colors, and on Hidden Colors they said that Scipio Africanus went to war with Hannibal in North Africa, and that Hannibal had lost the war, and therefore, when Scipio Africanus conquered Hannibal's region, it then became called Africa. But I didn't know that Abraham was called Africanus. And I didn't know Abraham was a Greek. I didn't know Abraham was Roman. I didn't know Abraham was Egyptian. And I didn't know that Abraham was a Moor. But now that I know. So it says, what gave strength to this was that his hair was more Negroid than Caucasian. So was his color of his father. He was said his face was round, his complexion swarthy, hair black and coarse, eyes brown. Okay, so this clearly shows you that he is a copper color person. Clearly. So this is his great grandfather. Okay? So this is his great great grandfather. Three generations, I think so. Or I'm not sure what the generations is, but this is one of his grandfathers. Okay, um, so it says here that this is John, Virginia, and John Virginia Lincoln was born in 1716, and he crossed over in 1788. Um, it says here that he lived in Virginia. Okay. And it said that he was the husband of Rebecca Lincoln. Okay, so let's go check this out with the Rebecca. Okay, so here we got Rebecca Lincoln. So Rebecca Lincoln is here, and Rebecca Lincoln is the daughter of Enoch Flowers. Rebecca Lincoln last name also is Flowers. So this is who we know as the character as Pocahontas. Because when Pocahontas got baptized, Pocahontas' name was changed to Rebecca. She became Rebecca Lincoln. And her husband, John Rolfe, became John Lincoln, Virginia John. And Virginia John actually inherited the land of Virginia from his ancestors before him, right? So let's look at this. Let's look at these receipts to see what we talking about here. Okay, so um, one thing I want you to know also is I have to put this back up so I can explain something else to you. So, Virginia John is a couple of different people. This is just one of his names, Virginia John. So this is where the last name Johnson originates from, because he is John. And John had a son. And John's son became John's son. This is why you got Johns Bay, Florida, Johnsonville. You have um, Johnson and Johnson. Johnson, 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 Johnson. No kin to the people that make the stuff, you know. No, I don't want no smoke. Um, you have Jacksonville, Florida. You have Jacksonville, Mississippi. You have Jonesboro, Jones. These last names all are connected to John. So John, Virginia John Lincoln. Virginia John is also George. George is given the name to the man who is a planter. So if he was a planter, if he was a farmer, they call him George. So this is why this is also George Washington, but I'm explaining the connection to you so you can make that connection, and I'm going to show you something. So with this being George Washington, they went and showed the whole map, but at the bottom, Empire of Washita, and they say this is the Dahomey Empire. So this is the Dahomey Empire, and if you watch The Woman King, you will know that the Woman King became the Woman King. Her daughter became the general. And because she was the Woman King and her daughter was the general, her daughter actually had a son. And when her daughter had a son, that son name was George. That son became King George. That son became the president. That son became, he was an inventor. He was an engineer. He was a general. He was a musician. He was writing and composing music. Like, if you were get our opportunity to study his life and study him, you will know these things, right? It's very, very impressive, especially when you get to knowing things about George. So it is said that George was a redhead. If you go check history, they'll tell you George is a redhead. So then when you go find out that George had this red hair, and you go look at this dude, and then look at this. I don't know if they gonna show Oh, that's good. They don't even show the whitewashed image of him, but they showing him next to the whitewashed version of him. So this is who this is. Yes, this is the black Mozart. The black Mozart. But the crazy thing about it is, isn't his name George? His name is George. His name is actually George. Yes, so this is King George. And he's also a British king because he has on the red coat. He's also a Moor, and he also is from Westmoreland. That's where George Washington is from, Westmoreland, which is a French empire, which you can see. This is in French. So he is from, he is said to be living in what is known as England, and he lived in what is known as France, which I found out to my understanding is France is in Texas and